Oh, well, hello, all my wonderful, beautiful brothers and wonderful, beautiful brothers, guys of the wonderful, beautiful Maverick Nation. And I am the Dark Shadow, I'm a regular Dark, the Shadow of the Maverick. Yes. This is What If Donquixote Doflamingo was good. Yeah. Part 2. Well, in part 1, basically there was the Donquixote brothers, Mewtwo and Newtwo, and Law. Basically, a skeleton crew. Basically, at the tail end of part 1 is where Law basically got the op fruit, and everybody got back on, and they basically had to take a breather. So Mew used Psychic on the wheel to hopefully make sure that nobody ran into any problems. However, starting on part 2, Law seems to be having trouble sleeping. And well, Mew seems to not really like whatever's keeping him from having a nice sleep. Darkrai. And then the dark form manifests with its one blue eye. Mew. I didn't think you would be here of all places. But then again, your children are here. Maybe you're a little bit more loyal than I thought. Interesting. Fishman Island is close to here, where you're sailing, that is. You basically have the wheel on autopilot by using Psychic on it. Where you're sailing is Fishman Island. And basically Mew's like, I know that, Darkrai. Now what is your business here? Unless it is none, in that case, you're wasting my time. And Darkrai would just be like, oh, well, I have actually brought a friend. We used to be adversaries, but, well, I think you would know by the tone. And basically, me would be like, Cresselia? And basically, and basically just land. And basically like, sorry if I woke anybody. And then Law would actually start to have peaceful dreams. And Darkrai would be like, I wasn't doing that on purpose, you know. I never really try to do that on purpose unless it's needed. And what Darkrai's talking about is, the whole bad dream thing. And really, Law was the only one suffering. And he didn't really want to put the kid through that after all, the white lead poisoning shit. And all the shit they had to go through to get the op fruit and for him to eat the damn thing. And the whole room shit. And how exhausting it was. And then even get back onto the boat and just taking a breather. They ended up all basically just conking the fuck out. Basically, Darkrai, decides that if Cresselia wants to stay, he'll stay too. That is, if Mew will allow it. And since Cresselia wants to stay, apparently, well, if, it not really going is any indication, then apparently Darkrai will stay as well, because Mew will allow Cresselia to stay. And if Cresselia staying means Darkrai stays, then Darkrai can stay as well. Yay, 2 new crew members in Cresselia and Darkrai. And basically, whenever it comes morning, oh boy, is it a surprise. Cresselia and Darkrai. I told you it was going to be wacky. But oh boy, what actually happens? This is actually around the time that, Fishman Tiger, or whatever the fuck his name is, dies. 2 mysterious creatures actually appear. Though the Fishman never mentioned them whenever, the Straw Hats actually popped up in Fishman Island. Because, well, kind of a sacred vow that they made, basically, to not mention these creatures. Because they kind of freaked them out. These creatures being Lu and Cario. 2 Lucario. That, well, basically use secret bubble tubes in order to be able to breathe while in Fishman Island. And, well, seeing as, the invention of bubble tubes isn't all that new, basically, the Doflamingo pirates get themselves some bubble tubes. And, well, basically, devil fruit powers can't really be used underwater. So anybody who does have devil fruit power is severely weakened down here. But hey, not everyone has devil fruit power. Some just have their own powers. And so basically, everyone is down in Fishman Island. Basically, just around the time to see, Fishman Tiger, whatever the fuck his name is, die. And basically, the 2 Lucarios be framed for it. But then, some of the fishmen, that actually, have their head on straight, actually defend Lucarios, even though they don't even know what they are. And, well, Lu and Cario basically state that they are Lucario. Basically, Darkrai and Cresselia basically are like, if you want, seeing as there's other ones of us, ones like us, around, maybe if the captain's okay with it. And basically, Doflamingo's like, well, Mew's usually the one that has a say in the matter if it's like a mystical freaking creature that comes on board. And so Mew's like, well, they seem to have no ill intent. And Lu and Cario are just like, we sense your aura. None of you have ill intent. And so they are free to bubble tube their way up back to the surface after that, encounter basically with some bunch of racist fishmen and some non-racist fishmen in, Fishman freaking Island. And whenever the king hears about this, the queen is, in her own circumstances. So the king is just fed up with this bullshit. And actually does give, like, the two Donquixote brothers a little bit of a reward for, dealing with this. Dealing with the bullshit. Having to... Basically, he decides, after having to deal with all the bullshit, I think you deserve a reward. And basically, he decides that what a better reward than, well, if there are any, like, freaking devil fruit users who they're fighting against, what a better reward than a way to subdue them. The sea stone cuffs and chains. Basically, perfect way to subdue your enemy if they're a devil fruit user. And since they're literally in the sea, they would have a lot of sea stone to make this shit. So basically, yeah, the Pokemon are the ones that have to carry the sea stone because, that would just be worse for the freaking devil fruit users if they even touched that shit. So basically, Doflamingo just makes the freaking stand right there, right then. Basically, like, Mew, I hope you agree with me on this, that you guys be the one to handle the sea stone. And Mew's like, don't worry, I already got it. Because Dofi already knows about the whole thing with sea stone and devil fruit users. He already knew way before that shit. But yeah, they do thank the king for the reward of the sea stone stuff in order to subdue future people who, devil fruit. That could be a pain in the ass if not used on them. And so basically, there are a lot of tricky waters, but boy does having aura power help you navigate. Yes, that's right. Lou and Cario are good navigators. Yes, you have two good navigators on your ship. Mew was basically just having the damn thing on autopilot. But basically, because of their aura powers, Lou and Cario basically are like living log poses to basically help you. Like, so Mew can use Psychic on the wheel, and Lou and Cario basically just tell where the correct direction is. Because they're like living freaking log poses. The only problem seems to be, well, the waves seem to not give a shit about whatever the frick log post shit you have. Because the waves seem to be having a shit fit right now. The situation that everybody's in on the Donquixote family. The whole pirate thing. Cause, yeah, they're being carried aloft to wherever the frick they are going. And by the time that sun basically rises, because there was no sun for a good while, and basically that's because, it was a dark night and storm and shitting everywhere. And finally, whenever the sun comes up again, and all the weather just clear the fuck up, Doflamingo realizes the most terrifying he could have realized. Wano. Fuck. He's just like, fuck. Why does it have to be here? And, the beast pirates seem to realize that there's another ship besides theirs. Somebody in their waters. Somebody in Wano. And basically Doflamingo not wanting to have this. Because he knows that they have the sea stone stuff, but Kaido, a freaking Yonko, I don't think they're gonna be, he has freaking hockey as well, not just devil fruit powers. Oh, and also his devil fruit powers go in stages of different power. And dude is just a problem altogether. Plus the other members of his crew, the beast pirates. Plus, may I state this again, Yonko, one of the 4 emperors of the fucking sea. And you run into his, territory, basically. Fucking Wano. This is not like canon One Piece. They are not friends. In any sense of the word. Business partners in any sense of the word. Or words. However, basically, Doflamingo and Rosinante basically realize something very weird. Dr. Vegapunk seems to also be on Wano. With the Beast Pirates. And... wait, is Kaido already here? Wait, they seem to have something. 2 somethings. And they seem to be carrying things on their back. Wait, they think they can overhear a conversation in between Kaido and Vegapunk. Vegapunk basically, seems to, be like, hand over the stuff, It's nice that you got the stuff for us, but now you need to hand over the stuff to the world government, They want this. You got this for us. Now we need it. The payment is right here. Then basically see a shit ton of belly, basically. A berry, belly, whatever. The basic currency. Enough to basically, shit ton, make people freaking rich beyond belief. They must, just, wow, they must be pretty fucking valuable. And basically, Darkrai and Cresselia basically reveal that the red and blue things that have those things that they don't even recognize what they are on their backs and look like they got beat the fuck up. Those are Latios and Latias. The, Eon duo Pokemon. Yeah, and if they're given to the world government, that's bad. Very bad. And Doflamingo's like, and you don't think I already know this? And Rosinante's like, bro, you were just panicking a second ago. And Doflamingo just shoves Rosinante off, completely. Jumps down there and just shreds the cage to shreds with his strings. And basically mops the floor with like several of the members of the Beast Pirates with his own freaking armament hockey, because they don't even know that he's there. And, you know, he's able to freaking surprise attack the fuck out of them. Except for Kaido, because he doesn't go for Kaido. He's not that stupid. And basically, he just freaking with the string, just one swipe, and destroys the cage. Vegapunk's too terrified of Doflamingo to even do anything, because he just sees this dude use these strings to, oh god, like, this is terrifying. Vegapunk is like shaking in his boots, and basically, like, Doflamingo's like, Darkrai, Cresselia, get your asses over here. And basically, they do indeed get their asses over there and save Latios and Latias. And, like, Doflamingo's like, hey, hello, to others. Don't care if they're not your same species. Basically, Doflamingo has to do it himself because Darkrai and Cresselia won't. These two, whatever they are. And they basically barely are able to squeak out their names. Come on. Renumon. Yes, Digimon. And basically, you know, the only reason why the Beast Pirates and Kaido aren't following after them as they basically, like, freaking, like, go for the hills, like, or whatever freaking direction, is because Kaido knows what direction they're going in, and they're going in that direction fast. If he knows his directions, they're basically going to end themselves up in Thriller Bark if they keep on going in that direction specifically. Because the weather has actually started to, clear back up. Or at least, as long as they're not in Thriller Bark, because then the weather's just gonna just like that. Because that's just how Thriller Bark is. And that's just how Gecko Moria is. And so they do indeed keep on going in that direction. And basically, Gecko Moria does make his presence known whenever they get close enough to Thriller Bark to, depart on some level of land to actually, rest and try to figure out what the fuck is going on. Apparently, Agumon and Renumon are these creatures called Digimon. And they're mostly digital, but somehow they got sent here. And also, they may know something about someone named Bumble, who's some sort of frosty giant, who might actually be here and trying to fight Gecko Moria right now. And they know this because they can see it off in the distance. So yeah, Gecko Moria is basically right now in a fight with a frost giant named Bumble. And the frost giant is so freaking massive that he can't steal its shadow using his Kage no Mi. or shadow fruit. And so basically, seeing as, Dofi's ship is pretty damn strong, I mean, look at all the freaking suns of, it's able to freaking have all at once. And just one more might not hurt all that much. And besides, Agumon and Renumon actually think they might have a little bit of a tip. The frosty giant guy is actually a shipwright. And whenever Doflamingo hears this, Rosinante, there's a little bit of gleam in those glasses that he hasn't seen in a long time. And he's like Doflamingo's like, a shipwright, eh? Well then, let's get to that giant. Because, their ship has seen better days. Doflamingo is aware of that. Their ship has seen better days. And, well, even though they are aware that Gecko Moria is a freaking warlord, basically, well, he's around that time that he's about to become a warlord. He is pretty infamous still, even though he's not a warlord yet. It's about that time where he's going to become a warlord. And so, he's basically sitting around Thriller Bark, taking people's shadows. But he can't seem to be able to do it to this frosty giant dude named Bumble. You haven't got the reference yet? Hope you have. Because if you haven't, I don't think you have a childhood. Basically, by the time that they do get to that battle, it's basically in a stalemate. Until they see basically Gecko Moria fall backwards and just start huffing. It's like, okay, fine, you can have your fucking shadow, just leave me alone. Just this frosty giant dude just seems way too much. And basically, Doflamingo's like, a little help, please. And, Mew, with the help of her children, Mewtwo and Newtwo, are able to psychically get Doflamingo up to where he'd be able to talk to the frosty giant named Bumble. And Bumble basically and Doflamingo have a little, talk. And, Doflamingo's able to persuade Bumble onto the side of the Doflamingo family. But first, get that tune-up to that ship. So yeah, basically, now this ship is looking like something of a Yonko ship. Basically. It looks Yonko level right now, just because of Bumble's tune-up level thing. What he did to it. Yeah, this is something that definitely could house him. Dude's a frost giant like those of Norse mythology. That's what I'm talking about whenever I said frost giant. That big. And while Bumble is given some technology that would allow him to hear, the smaller people that are also part of the crew, as he is now part of the crew. As so is Latios, Latias, and Agumon and Renumon. They are also inducted as part of the crew. If they want to. They really don't have anywhere to go. Latios and Latias were about to be sold off to the world government, and that is not something that either of them wanted. And they were just trying to, help Agumon and Renumon because they told them about their situation, and, they just wanted to help in any way they could. So, the Eon Duo and Agumon and Renumon are, as long with, Bumble the Ice Giant, of what seems to be some level of Norse mythology, are all a part of the Doflamingo Pirates. And now, where are they headed to next? Well, after all, this is a fucking adventure. Basically, Doflamingo decides, Dressrosa. Why not Dressrosa? But basically, his intentions are different than whenever he headed to Dressrosa and, Canon One Piece. He actually decides that, since this was once the territory of, Donquixote basically the Donquixote family, 800 years ago. This was once their territory before they came to celestial dragons. They decided to hang up in Marijois. And so King Riku, now the ruler, decides basically what Doflamingo is proposing is basically a duel. Whoever is the stronger, whoever comes out the victor, will be king. And basically, they do duel. And King Riku just doesn't seem to be the fighter. And so, Doflamingo doesn't really try any sort of string move. He just mano-y-mano. And, no matter what, King Riku just doesn't seem to have the firepower, even just regular mano-y-mano, to deal with Doflamingo. Dude, if he isn't even using his hockey. So, what is King Riku and his family supposed to do now? And basically, Doflamingo's like, whoa, dude, you got me totally wrong. You guys can still, like a figurehead rulership. It's just me and my guys sailing to the Seven Seas, pirates and all that jazz. We, wanted to basically know that if we ever wanted to come back, that you would know who the real rulers were. Me and my posse. Nothing too bad. I just wanted to state my dominance. And Rosinante's like, even if he is a good person deep down inside, my brother will never truly change. So yeah, basically ending this episode off with Doflamingo and the rest of his buddies, Doflamingo family, setting off at sea again, just basically settling things at Dressrosa, not really killing King Riku, or doing any of that bad shit, just wanting to making sure that basically anytime he does come over, if he ever wanted to, that they know who the real ruler is. Nothing bad, just wanting to make sure that he can assert his dominance. And, well, since King Riku didn't seem, all that, strong of a guy, and he wasn't, Doflamingo just sauced him into oblivion. Well, not really oblivion, because he's still alive, he's still breathing. And, Doflamingo didn't even use any lethal attacks, didn't use hockey, didn't use freaking devil fruit power. He just, monoed him, but still came out the victor. And so, that's kind of like the last thing on the little checklist that Doflamingo had for the day. And so, rest is pretty much smooth sailing. Except for basically whenever they get a big flyer flung in their face, that basically news that apparently they are now enemy number 1 of the Beast Pirates and their captain, the Yonko Kaido. Yonko, aka 4 Emperor of the fucking Sea. This is not what Doflamingo wanted. He was wanting to end the day on a happy note. Well, fuck his plans, apparently. Fuck his Jenga. Well, Rosinante's just like, maybe we can end the day on a happy note. We may be public enemy number 1 of the Beast Pirates, but, you didn't look at all of the mail. And basically, most of the mail was, the whole public enemy number 1 of the Beast Pirates and, a bunch of their bounties and shit, because pirates and shit. But then he looks at something mighty interesting. Other people with pretty big bounties. Maybe you might want to meet them, and they could have a drink. These individuals look to be pretty interesting. What are they called? The Straw Hat Pirates? And their next location they seem to be headed towards? Oh, this is... Oh my... Oh my... Where they're headed... Well, maybe they can take out one bird with their 2 stones. They seem to have Big Mom as their target. they don't exactly seem to be like the kind of pirates who like bad people. And well, maybe if they could meet up, they could, double their efforts and make it impossible for Big Mom to come out the winner. Doflamingo is loving this. Thank you, Rosinante, for bringing this to my attention. Now, just to find the right place to meet the little guy. I guess not so little after a little thing that happened, but we can't always win everything. Well, looks like first we find the Straw Hats. Next, we take down Big Mom. Yep, that's right. Big goals, but oh, will they be satisfying once they are set and done? Deuces!